What's going on? We back at it again. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Don't Whenever back at it with another one. We are getting into a new series. We're gonna go through different rebuilds of teams. We're gonna check on teams that maybe missed their opportunity to win championships, missed out on some draft picks, star players that didn't get that second star player to come along with them, or the big three, the super teams. We're going to go through many different eras and many different teams. Try to do one of each team in different decades or era, Jordan era, Kobe era, LeBron era. But for this one, we are going to start in the LeBron era. So this is going to get us at 2011. And the team that we do go with is the Sacramento Kings. We're going to Sac Town as we do look at our GM in Austin Green. Looks like he's pretty high up there in every rating, so definitely love to have a GM owner who's willing to be patient with us, willing to wait for us, and see if we can build this Kings team into a championship contender. Because right now, we know the Kings have never won a championship. They haven't been able to do much as far as winning goes. Obviously, we know, and I don't want to spoil it for other rebuilds that we might do in this series, but obviously we know around 03, 02, around early 2000s, they were a top 5 team and competed with those Lakers who won their three-peat in the early thousands with Froby. But other than that, the Kings have not had much success as a franchise. They've been in Kansas City, they've been in many different places, and so I think it's time for us to take over and win them that ring. Now, as far as this series goes, I want to at most do 10 years, but you guys put in the comment section, let me know how you guys would like to do these for the series. I'm predominantly trying to do 10 years, but obviously we can push it further and further and get into like the future, since I'm going to be doing more past dated franchises. So just leave in the comments if you guys want 10 years or more, and we'll definitely go over that. But as we get into the season, we get a little practice in for our team. And the first game will be versus Timberwolves. But first, man, we got to make sure these practices ran well. Make sure this roster is built to win some championships, which we know right now is not a thing. We do have our Rookie of the Year last year in Tyreke Evans on the roster now. Well, not now, but as of last year, who did have a pretty good season. And then this upcoming draft, the Sacramento Kings did select DeMarcus Cousins, Ace Boogie with a hoodie that can score, Mr. Paint Beast himself, Mr. Don't Play With Him, and DeMarcus Cousins. But this is be showing you guys that Tyreke did win that Rookie of the Year just the year before, because I don't want to keep reiterating, this is the beginning of the 2011-2012 season. And in real life, I believe in 2011, I believe it was either the Dallas Mavericks year when they beat the Big Three, or it might have been one of the Spurs championships. I'm gonna have to look back through that and let you guys know, but in future episodes. But I believe it was either Dallas Mavericks or the San Antonio Spurs who won the championship in real life during this season. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's when the Mavericks beat the Heat, when Dirk wins his first ring. But as we continue to go through some of the attributes for Tyreke, he's a very interesting prospect. It's hard to really judge him. I think in 2K11, I'm pretty sure he was actually small forward, power point guard as far as his positions go. But in this current 2K, it looks like they have him listed as shooting guard, point guard. I was about to say power guard. Point guard. But the tough thing with him is he's not really great at anything. He is a good ball handler, not really the best playmaker, but he has good ball handling, can shoot a little bit but not a great shooter, and he's a below average to average defender, has pretty solid athleticism. But honestly, I'm not sure how well he pairs with Cousins or what we'll do for the future for this dynamic duo. But obviously the thunder to this thunder and lightning is DeMarcus Cousins. Like I said, he was a top 5 pick in this most recent draft coming out of Kentucky. Obviously him and John Wall, if you guys don't know about when they was young, you guys gotta go back and watch. but they were destroying out there in Kentucky and got even better as pros. As we look at Boogie right now, he's not the greatest defender, just solid as a defender, more of a rebounding power forward right now. Not too much of a true center, but definitely has the post game, can finish inside, and pretty much go yam on anyone. And the best part about him is he is a center that was ahead of his time. He was Jokic before Jokic. He was able to dribble the ball as a big man, get the rebound, take it coast to coast, dish it off, and do spectacular things. And this is definitely going to be the cornerstone of our franchise, is DeMarcus Cousins. Obviously, he didn't have the fantastic passing that Jokic has, but he was a pretty good passer. He did get like 3-4 assists a season. Looking at the supporting cast, we have Caspi, who is also a young guy that we got out of the international realm. A man who surprisingly has the highest standing dunk and highest driving dunk on our entire roster. Yes, Caspi. I don't know if you guys remember him. I don't remember him being a dunker, but apparently 2K thinks he was. But another guy, and the beauty of this team is everybody is young, and so we are on cheap contracts, which would allow us to maybe explore free agency in the next future years. But I definitely want to cool off on that, as I want to see who is going to be that superstar to go alongside Cousins. Is it already on the roster? Do we maybe look into the draft? Or do we need to explore free agency? Obviously, free agency is the most expensive option, but the draft is more hit or miss, because you can always miss on picks. Luckily for us, we know the future. And we know exactly who is good in this 2011 draft, which we will talk about either later on this episode, or probably in episode 2. I'll probably put it in there so we can have a good segment about it, going over the 2011 draft. We have Caspi and Bino Udrich, as you guys can see, at the point guard, who's pretty solid. And then we also have Carl Landry, who is kind of our veteran on this roster. Even though he's only 27 and coming off a pretty good season with Houston and got traded mid-season to our team. Definitely looking at him as a viable trade asset, to be honest. Let's be real, this Kings roster is not built to win anytime soon. We're looking at least a good 2-3 year rebuild. And there's no point in wasting a veteran's time in Carl Landry. He'll be good for now to help Cousins and some of the other big men come into the league, but for the most part, we'll probably look to ship him. Luther Head is our 3-point specialist off the bench, our catch and shoot guy. He was playing for Indiana last season, but looks like he could be a 3-point spotter that can give Tyreek and Cousins a little more space to handle work inside. Dante Green, he's just here, man. He's just a place filler. I mean, literally, his archetype is prospect. Prospect. I don't mean like he's a prospect now, we're looking to build him up. I mean, he's literally just a prospect. No badges, no nothing. And then we have a couple randoms to round out the lineup. Obviously, as we get further and further into the draft classes and get more into the rebuild, some of the rosters are going to fill out with more players that you guys probably know, and more actual players. Because who was TJ Weber? And Nick Gordon, Haywood. But that is going to wrap up the roster for us. As we definitely can see a lot of our weaknesses. We don't have great shooting, other than maybe 2 or 3 guys. We're not very good in the inside and interior defense. And we're honestly just defensive wise, we're not that great on defense. As you see, we don't have that elite perimeter defender. We don't even have an elite interior defender. So it looks like defense is definitely going to be a struggle for us this year. And other than Elliott and Cousins, we also don't have any rebounding. So yeah, defense is going to be a struggle. We're not going to be good at getting boards, and we can't cover guys. And we don't really have the length on the wings to really cover people. The only good thing that kind of saves us is the league. It is till 2011, so a lot of post players, which makes it even worse for the interior defense, but a lot of post players like Dirk, Tim Duncan, Shaq, other players, Amari Stoudemire, as we do go through the league, Pau Gasol, a lot of guys, a lot of big postmen are still viable in this league, and they haven't gone straight to the Stephen Curry shooting a lot of threes, more three-oriented offenses. As we do take a look at Dirk Nowitzki in them, which I'm 99% sure, you guys can leave it in the comment section if I'm right or wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Mavs won a championship in this season. Young Brook Lopez, who was a beast. We do have Melo still in Denver. As we know, after this offseason, he actually goes to the Knicks with Amari Stoudemire, so it'll be interesting to see that. Does he actually go to the Knicks, or does he stay at Denver Nugget? Detroit pretty much has nobody there, as the championship roster they had in 2004 is completely gone. The Raptors are trying to start up with Andre Bargnani and a recently drafted DeMar DeRozan. The Spurs obviously have their great team with Timmy, Tony Parker, and Manu, with a young George Hill and Thiago Splitter. So definitely a pretty good roster there. Like I said, I know it's either the Spurs or the Mavs that won a championship this year. I just can't remember. And then we got the run and gun Steve Nash, but obviously this is multiple years after his back-to-back MVPs that he won in, I believe, 05 and 06. So obviously that team has deteriorated. The Thunder obviously is a top 3 team with Durant, Harden, and Westbrook. Definitely be interested to see how that goes down if they do make the mistake and sign Ibaka to the big deal instead of Harden. And then we have a young Steph Curry just coming into the league that's ready to ball out. And we know how his potential gets reached, so we'd love to see how his shooting will change the league. And then we have Gilbert Arenas and John Wall rounding out the Wizards. John Wall was the first overall pick in this most recent draft. Looking at the best players, we still have a Prime Rose. I'm 99% sure this is the year he won MVP. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he won MVP in 2011. So it might have either been the previous year or the year or this year, one of the two. And LeBron obviously on the Heat as he has taken his talents to South Beach. We look at this great Rose-led lineup with Boozer and Noah. And if you guys want, feel free to pause to check out any of the rosters that you might want to see. I just kind of quickly went through them because obviously as we go through other rebuilds, we'll see some of these rosters again. But I did want to do for the original series, wanted to walk through so you guys have kind of a timestamp in the history of where we're at. As we know, Shaq is close to retiring while he's on the Celtics team. A lot of people didn't know that. After he got on the Heat team, he did finish his career off as a Celtic. We do have young Blake Griffin, who this is his rigged year, so he really was drafted the year before. But we all know his actual rookie season was cut short, I think, due to a knee injury. And so more than likely, he's going to win Rookie of the Year this year because he has the highest rating by far compared to the other rookies because he did get a season ahead. We have the up-and-coming Hawks with Joe Johnson, Al Horford, Josh Smith, Jeff Teague out there. Obviously, the huge big three that just formed with LeBron literally having every single badge, it seems like. And pretty much all of them on like Hall of Fame or gold. But hey, this is prime LeBron. So this is the team that we're definitely looking to beat along with the Thunder. Chris Paul is holding his own in New Orleans, and then Deron Williams is holding it down for Utah. So that's just a quick run through of how all the rosters are looking on this team and getting it back more centered on our team. Let's take a look at this money, man. Let's take a look at the money. Like I was reiterating earlier, money is not a problem here. That's the good thing about this organization. Nobody's had any big deals. The 2K made a couple make-believe players have some expensive contracts, but obviously we're gonna let them go, so we're not too much worried about that. But looking on to the future, the only people who have really big deals that are actual players are like Beno Udrih, Dante Green has a pretty expensive deal. And remember guys, this is 2011, so this isn't role players getting paid $10-15 million a year. That's not how it works nowadays in this league. 7-8 million is what a typical starter makes, just to put it in reference. So money shouldn't be a problem for the future, but we all know the teams that last build through the drafts, not just free agency. The only problem it is with having a young roster is we don't have many mentors. As you can see me running through the list, the only person they can really work with is Carl Landry. So we'll work on his defense and his rebounding, because we'll definitely need that for the interior, as we're hoping Cousins can be at least a solid defensive center. I mean, we're not expecting him to be bowl out here, but we do want him to block a couple shots. And then we was going to work on Dante Green, but he gonna stay a prospect. We're not worried about it. So the only other person that we're probably gonna look to give guidance to is Tyreke Evans. Because like I said, it's pretty hard to find who we're gonna give that to. I would do catch and shoot, but he's not a shooter like that. So there's no point in giving him a badge that he's not gonna use that much. And that's where the problem with Tyreek Hill begins. He's not very good off ball. He's solid on ball, but he's not a great playmaker. He'll get you 5-6 assists, but he's not like a 9-10 assist guy. Solid playmaker though. And with his inability to stretch the floor, it makes it very tough on Cousins to dominate the paint like he wants to. Looking into the power rankings and the last year standings, obviously those Lakers were really good. Mavericks were fantastic. And like all the guys we've been previously discussing, and the teams we were previously discussing are doing their thing. As you can see, us last year we finished 25-57, so definitely abysmal. But the good thing is the team that we are going to play today, as we will look into the first game, was actually worse than us in the Timberwolves. So looking into the division, definitely a tough one with the upstart Clippers with Blake Griffin and Gordon. Obviously earlier we talked about the dynamic duo of Steph Curry and Monty Ellis still in Golden State, which is also another interesting storyline, because I believe they traded Monty Ellis either a season or two later or let him go in free agency to get like Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all that good stuff. So I wonder, do they actually ship Monty Ellis out of there? But we want to focus more on the division opponents, because obviously we're going to play them more throughout the seasons. And we do have a couple rivals in our fellow Californians, with Golden State and Lakers, and the Lakers being the top of our foes. Look at the Suns team. Obviously they're deteriorating, but they did have a solid season last year. But I'm pretty sure Amari just left to the Knicks. I don't think he's been on the Knicks for long, which is why the Suns still had a good record last year. The Cavs, obviously this was the year LeBron left, so that's why the Cavs were number one last season, with the Magic not too far behind them, which we know prime Dwight Howard is out there doing his thing. The Celtics with their big three held their own. And surprisingly, the Bobcats and the Bucks actually had pretty good playoff records. I did not realize they were that good last season, prior years. As we round out the bottom few, man, the Nets suck. 12-70, bro. 12-70. I'm pretty sure that's the record. That's got to be the record for the least amount of wins. Somebody let me know in the comments or somewhere. That's got to be the least amount of records ever. Least amount of wins I've ever seen in the season. As we look into trading block, like I've kind of been discussing throughout this whole episode, even though he won Rookie of the Year, and I do want to keep this as realistic as possible, I also am trying to win. And realistically, if I was Vlade Divac, if I was the Kings GM, I would have moved on from Tyreke Evans. Maybe not after his second season, after he just won Rookie of the Year, but once I saw how good Cousins could be and seen how their games complemented, I probably would have shipped him off. So we're going to look to do the same thing in this rebuild, as we want to get some viable assets that can pair well with Cousins. We want players that can space the floor, that can drive and kick it to our three-point shooters, that can drive and throw up lobs and alley-oops for Cousins to hammer them home, possibly get the offensive rebound. Just spacing so he can post up and do what he got to do. I just don't think Tyreke is really that guy that can help. Or he can help for now, but I don't think he's the guy that can bolster us to a championship level. Like I said, we are going to wait to take a look at scouting, as you guys will probably look it up after this to see who's in the draft class, but I don't want to ruin it till we get closer to who we actually draft. And so we're gonna let that go. And like I said, as you guys see, all of our rivals are in the state of California, with the Lakers and Golden State being those demons. Just playing. We definitely going to try to destroy them every season. Midoriya style. I'm just playing. Side note, I've been watching My Hero. That's a good show. Comment down below if you like My Hero. Put in My Hero if that's your show, man. That's a pretty good show. If you look at the power rankings, it's not a surprise. Most of the teams, and it's not really a surprise that we're pretty much dead last. Yes. Even 2K has us dead last. They have us dead last. We aren't going to be able to do a darn thing. We're even lower than the 12 and 70 Nets. That's how low they think we are. They were 12 wins last year and they still have us worse than them. That's crazy. And then we have Paul Westphal as the coach. But we are coming here to revamp this entire team. So more than likely after a season or two, we're going to let him go. But he's definitely a good filler coach. His system is balanced. So it's nice to see how our team ranks with a balanced offense versus a more specific offense like 7 seconds triangle that targets certain positions and certain players a little more. Balance is good versus all, but not really excelling anything. So very good starting point to see how our team performs. Because I think what's best for Cousins is either a lot of pick and roll or pace and space. But for now, we are going to leave it on 7 seconds because I think that creates the most opportunities for Tyreke to get some good transition opportunities, get some quick pick and rolls, allow him to take advantage of the defense before they set up because he's not a great shooter. And so he has to use his physicality and his quickness to kind of get his buckets. And then obviously with Boogie as well, being able to bring the ball up the court and do all that he does. We want to utilize that. We want to utilize how quick he is at the 6'10 position. As we know, he is very quick to be a guy who's 6'10", 250. So we want to utilize that. And I think the 7-second offense will work best. I kind of skipped through on this part, but I did want to show you guys. I tried to get down to the nitty gritty, every detail. We're even adding some old Sacramento plays. And kind of like I was just talking about, we want to bring more plays to highlight our star players, give them more opportunities in the mid-range and closer to the hoop. So that way, if teams try to double or play off of them, we have people like Caspi, Udridge, and a couple other shooters that can space the floor and provide three-point shooting whenever people like Tyreke and Cousins get doubled. I love this play. A quick play action, a quick play off the action. So Tyreke has a quick screen to Cousins, so that's definitely a lovely play. And that's kind of more of what I wanted to incorporate. They had a lot of pick and roll, but Tyreke Evans is not really a great pick and roller because teams can just drop because they're not scared of his jump shot. So I don't want to put him in a lot of pick and roll where he's not suited for. He's not really a catch off the dribble guy or making shots off the dribble guy. He's not really a huge mid-range threat. So it's better to just get him running down straight downhill. We have a lot of other swing packages and swing plays for our guards and our small forward to get them coming off down screens, coming off pin downs. As we know, other than Tyreke, we don't have really any shot creators on our team. And so we got to find ways to get them the ball and get them in open space and get them open looks. So further reiterating my point, you're going to see here that I kind of want to prioritize Tyreke Evans getting the ball in that mid-range, high post area to where his shot is still viable, but he also can physically abuse smaller shooting guards and point guards. So that's what I kind of want him to mainly focus on, and the pick and roll from the wing. That way he has many options to hit the corner or hit the other guy on the wing opposite side. As we know, he's a solid enough passer to make those half-court passes across the court to open shooters. Then obviously last, isolation. As we know, he's a good ISO guy. Him and Cousins, which makes it kind of tough because both of them, Cousins can play a pick and roll game, but both of them kind of play very well off isolation basketball. Obviously, same thing for Cousins. We want to get him low post position so he can dominate with his high strength, and then good high post position so he can dominate with his speed and quickness. As we know, he's quicker than most centers that's the same size as him. But definitely the two biggest guys that we want to make sure get that ball, because we don't have much talent on this team. Let's just be honest. We have a couple guys that aren't too bad, in Udrich and Caspi. Landry's more of a defender on our team anyways. He's not really a huge defensive guy, but compared to the rest of the people on our team, he's our best defender. So with that, we definitely want to improve in the draft in other areas, but we're definitely during this season trying to hide some of our weaknesses. So as I was mentioning earlier, it is time to see how our team looks on that court, because that's what's going to make the biggest difference. All the speculation ain't going to matter if we don't have our guys playing at optimum. So it looks like my man Boogie is ready for the season early on, killing Elliott off the dribble in multiple ways, hitting him with the crossover, the spin jumper. Got you looking.
Let him cook.
Beating him both ways, hitting him with the mid-range jumper, spin jumper.
Let him
that
cook.
boy is nasty.
Let him cook.
As he is going to have to carry the franchise. Oof.
He's on fire!
Caught him slipping. But as he is going to carry this franchise, definitely expecting more things like that from him off the dribble, in the high post and low post. And like I was mentioning earlier, beautiful pick and roll. This is what we want to see all season. That slight hesitation on Cousins, because we know he can pop out, shoot the mid-range, is all Tyreek will need to lay it up. And then we see Caspi shooting the beautiful 3-ball. That's what we need from our shooters, coming off nice pin downs, easy jumpers. But here we go, guys. First game of the season versus a team that was even worse than us last year in the Timberwolves. You got Prime, K-Love, and Michael Beasley. If you know, you know. That man Michael Beasley used to be a walking bucket. And he is still in the league at this point. I think in real life he only played a few seasons and then called it quits. And hopefully maybe in this different universe it'll be different. And look at Cousins, man. Cousins like, get the fuck out of my face, man. What do you want, man? First game of the season, you harassing me. My man looks so angry. My man Boogie looks so angry. I just had to show that part, because like Boogie was really looking like he was ready to punch the cameraman for being that close to him while he was dribbling. Well, let's get ready to rumble. Hope y'all ready for the first game of the season. Hyped for this series and this franchise as much as I am, because we finna be dropping buckets and winning championships. And like I said at the beginning, don't worry y'all, even if you're not a Kings fan, I'm gonna make sure before 2K25 that we try to do as many NBA teams as possible. Like I said, it might be in different periods. Like I'm looking at some rebuilds in the Jordan era, in the Magic and Bird era, and the Kobe era as well. And we're going to do some modern day ones. So definitely looking for those. And pop your ideas in the chat and in the comments. If you guys have any specific franchises or specific rebuilds that you guys are interested in. You know, like the Kobe and Shaq Lakers, you can do it in Kobe era. Or the Spurs in that same area winning a three-peat. Or the Detroit Pistons winning 04, can we rebuild that team? Just different ideas like that to get you guys interested. But just let me know in the comments any specific rebuilds you guys would like, and I'll definitely look into those and try to set those up for you. But as you guys can see early on, we are dominating these Wolves team. Nice steal from Udrich a couple possessions ago to lead to a fast break. And then Cousins throwing down the hammer. Well, the hammer lay. Well, it was just a layup, but real physical on Luke Rittenauer. As we're not going to watch this whole game, just mostly highlights. But vicious step back from Michael Beasley. Getting started early. Left Caspi in the dust on that one. Got to put your hands up, man. Hand down, man down. Definitely want to run plays. Get our team working like they're supposed to. We got Tyreek in that middle area like I was talking about where I wanted him to. Nice spin move. Filet Filet. Easy lay. Definitely love the finishing ability on Tyreek. He's definitely going to do that all season. As Michael Beasley does do a pull-up, but he misses it. Still up by 6 points on these boys. Tyreek kicks it out to Udridge. And it's time to set up that play. And this is the weakness of the team. Bino has no isolation ability, so it's no point. And it makes it kind of tough when you don't have that point guard that can kind of score and do it on his own in this offense. We do mash it with Cousins, but he does miss the hook shot. And Michael Beasley, another step back. Oof, that one was vicious. That one was vicious. But he does finish well in the paint for Cousins. As we take a nice replay at it, look at that reverse lay. From a big man to be that quick, that's crazy. Definitely love to see that. Luke Rittenauer comes up, and I'm gonna give y'all a foreshadow. That man was nice this game. K-Love off the dribble though, from the 3-point line, missing the hook shot. But yeah, as we go through the highlights, as this team's looking pretty well in the first game, definitely want to talk about the realistic expectations for this team. I do expect this team to pretty much lose the same amount of games they lost last year. We're a bottom tier team, trying to find where our direction is. We know we have our superstar player in Cousins. We just need the right complements to get around him. As we've seen in this last current real life, we see that you can win a championship centering around a offensive-minded center in Jokic. So we want to try to replicate that same thing with Cousins. Get him some good wing defenders, some good perimeter shooters, and hopefully bring the modern game to this time period before it became the modern game. As Corey Brewer rips the hell out of Tyreek Evans. Give me those cookies, an easy layup. Definitely don't like to see that. The Kings do march back, going up 16-14. We get the ball to Nick Gordon in the corner, misses the wide open corner 3. Sebastian Telfair does push it up. Gets stopped by, and good defense. Love to see that. Luther Head has checked into the game now in the first quarter. Cousins gets the ball, hit him with the step back. Move and then yam on him. Get out the way. I don't know what he thought he was going to do. But that's not how it works up in Cousins' house. He don't care if he in Minnesota, Sacktown, it don't matter what it is. It's his rim, and he gonna take it. As that will end the first quarter. Let me take a look at some nice jumpers that were made during it. K-Love did have some good rebounding, some good finishing to start out the first quarter. But very low scoring game. As we get to the middle of the second quarter, it's still low scoring, 27-25. Kevin Love hits it with the pump fake, pivot, and then yams on us. Like, what? As I was completely thrown off during this game. I definitely did not think Kevin Love was going to dunk on us. As that man really hit us with the pivot and dunked right in Carl Landry's face. But we do get another ISO with Tyreek. And like I said, I want him to go to work in that mid-range area. That seems to be the best spot for him. As he's not the best three-point shooter. And clearly I'm not the best shooter as far as genius, as far as free throws go. Because, boy, I am having some trouble. But we still make it to get the lead closer. Now we're only down by 4, 27-31. Nice little pick and roll with Carl Landry for Tyreek Evans. The pick and pop isn't open, but Tyreek can do all. He can do no wrong today, as he does activate that slithery and is able to get a quick layup in. Coming off a nice finish by Darko Milicic. Tyreek is pushing it again. Right past Rittenauer for the hop slam. Dun dun dun. Let the boys be boys. Slam. Let that boy Tyreek Evans cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him cook
Telfair tries to finish a short little jumper. No good. Tyreek gets the ball again. Hits him with the spin move and the quick scoop, but it's no good. Landry gets it in. Oof. Kevin Love thought he could protect his house, but Carl Landry said, I want my licks back. As he dunks all over Kevin Love's face. As you've seen on the replay, he was going to get his payback. But still, Tyreek Evans is cooking as he does have 16 points to bring us back to an even ball game. As like I said, he can bully and abuse those smaller guards, and Telfair and Ridnour are definitely fitting that archetype. As a timeout needs to be called, as the Timberwolves feel that run coming. Tyreke was about to go off. Maybe we can get his career high. I think at this point it was like 34, 36. But you never know. Beasley tries to hit us with a post fade, misses that boy. And now it's time for Boogie to get started. But he does hit Landry for the nice feed, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Cousins is a guy that can get that board and dribble the ball up himself. He doesn't necessarily need the guard to do it, which sets up so much space for the rest of his teammates, as we've seen with the nice cut. K-Love does show some off-ball dribbling. Some ball handling. Once he does get the ball, tries to hit the pull-up midi, misses that one. And then Luther Head comes in. It's time to set that offense back up. Swing it, swing it. Back down to big boy Cousins. They can't do nothing with him. He bullies Michael Beasley out the way. Shoulder charge, layup. Get him out of there. As we definitely see our two young stars are taking over, man. They're taking over. Both of them in double digits early on in the second half. I don't know what I was jumping at. I guess I was jumping for joy. As Darko Milicic hits that buzzard beater to have them up by 3 points. So definitely good things and bad things we've seen going into the half. Cousins and Evans have been pretty much the whole offense. But it is a little disappointing to still be losing, even though both of them have combined for over 20 points. As we do look at the halftime stats, we really couldn't get no 3-point shots off. Computer was definitely covering all of our 3-point shooters, which is why Tyreke and Cousins went off. If you want to stay glued to our 3-point shooters, then our isolation scorers are just going to have a field day. K-Love talking that good shit to Michael Beasley as they have a good laugh. Look at that smirk, man. He looked like the Joker. What was up with that smirk? K-Love is chilling as we come back. 46-43. Nice move by Ridnour. I don't know what he's doing, but we should have been ripped at. Hits it to Milicic, who does have the layup, but great rebound by Cousins. And it's boogie time. It's boogie time. Going down the court. It's boogie time. He kicks it to Caspi for the wide open 3. 3-ball nailed by Caspi as we watch it back on the replay. Like I was mentioning earlier, you double team, then it's going to be a mean regime. Going to hit that 3-ball as soon as you come to help. They do it again. They do it again. They ain't learned. They ain't learned. Or maybe they did. Oh, you hate to see it. First game of the season and our starting point guard is down. We hope it's not serious as our coach looks on. But Dex looks like a lower leg injury as we see the leadership from Tyreke Evans helping Bino Udrih out. Well, let's take a look, man, see what happened. It looks like there might have been a slight collision between Ridnour and Udrih. We're not going to talk about that. If you see it, you see it. We're not going to talk about that. Now his injured body just moved 10 feet onto the court. Anyways, as we take a look back at the shot, we see that it looks like Ridnour stepped right on his leg or his toe upon landing, which is what caused this injury. Looks like he lands, might have landed funny, and then Ridnour stepped on it, adding insult to injury. But there goes our starting point guard. Now we're having to finish this game without our starter. That kind of sucks as he is a great perimeter shooter. But Beasley don't care about none of that. Hit a nice mid-range after the nice pass to Ridnour. We're already a bad team, man. To have injuries like that, definitely hate to see it. Beasley does come in and throws the oop on his own shot, doing the Tracy McGrady. Boy, it's the first game of the season. Calm down. But man, what a play by Mike Beasley to get out of that sticky situation. And then Cousins come with the pump fake and kicks it to Luther Head from long range. Bang!
It's good.
We love to see it. We love to see it. Mike Breen with the banger. Luther Head does get us closer to trying to take that lead, but we're still down by 5 after we get down to the nitty gritty in the end of the third quarter as Rednour hits a nice deep 2, and he is hype as he wants to bring this Timberwolves squad the first win of the season. But we're trying to deny that. We want to send the home fans home sad. Luther Head comes off the screen, passes it to Boogie. But Bigfoot Boogie steps right out of bounds, man. Dancing too much, man. We're starting to slip away. The lead's starting to slip away from us, down 7. Just fumbling the ball, losing our point guard. Never good signs of victory. As Telfair comes off, step back right in Luther Head's face. Good job, Sebastian. I guess we'll take that under the sea looking ass. We kick the ball to the corner to Gordon, who missed the corner 3 earlier. So we won't try to have none of that. Tyreek still having a solid game with 18. But it's hard to score when your teammates is in the way. Tries to finish tired, but that don't work. And that is how we're going to end the third quarter. As we do play good defense to make them miss that bucket. But down by 9, not even scoring 60 points going into the fourth quarter. It's definitely emphasizing our major weaknesses as a team and what we need to grow at. But as we get into this fourth quarter, we did get a bucket early on, get us down by 7. Kick the ball over to Tolliver. Keep swinging it. See what these guys can do. Looks like Telfair is looking for that pick and roll with Tolliver. And whoa. Like that one meme says, wow. How in the world did he do this? It don't look spectacular at first. It looks like just some 2K glitching, but once you take a slower rewind, you see that this man made a bounce pass between his legs. That ball literally went between his legs perfectly. Like, he even tried to shift his feet, and it still went perfectly between his legs to Tolliver. I don't know if the computer was trying to do that, but what a pass. I don't think I've ever seen that. He literally threw it right between his legs. Y'all can see it on the camera. It literally went right between his legs, man. Hell of a pass. Comment in the chat, man. Comment in the chat if y'all have ever had an experience like that where either y'all did or the computer did. Make a pass between the legs or some kind of crazy pass where you're like, man, how did that work? Not the usual 2K passes where like your dude short arms it when he should stole the ball. But I mean like an actual genuinely good pass. Tyreek does drop some more buckets, but it seems like it might not be enough as we're down 10. Need some more scoring. Looks like the only way we're getting it from is our 2-star players. Tyreek does get another pick and roll. He gets the foul on that. Feel bad for the former Rookie of the Year, or the Rookie of the Year now until the season's over, as he's having to carry the load mightily in this series, in this game. But like I said, that is the downfall of him, is he's not a great playmaker for others. He has good dribbling and good ball handling, but he's not a guy who really makes his team better. And with someone like Cousins, we kind of need that. Cousins makes his team better with the way he's able to have gravity, like we saw with the Cassidy corner 3. But Tyreek doesn't demand that same attention. And I don't know if his offensive game will ever increase to that. As Michael Beasley hits a crazy floater. Very heavily contested. But we all know floaters in this game this year are pretty good. So no surprise really there. Tyreek is sizing up, ready to cook. Beasley reaching. So we gotta be teaching. As Dante Green hits the pull-up right in his face. Stop reaching, Beasley. You ain't that good at defense. Coming down. We are only down by 5 now. Definitely getting hype in the game. And so, we love to see that, but he does miss on that. Still down by 5. Brewer kicks it to Rednour. And that kicks it to Love. Has a surprisingly quick finish. I was not expecting that. That boy flew past. But we like to see what we're seeing right now. Definitely some good and bad aspects. Nice cut by Tyreek as he's real close to that 30 mark. 29-5-3 is definitely nothing to snooze at. Down by 5. Looks like this game is getting kind of intense. Cousins come off that, not Cousins, Love comes off the screen and hits a beautiful mid-range jumper. As we all know, K-Love definitely has the range. Can't leave him open. The only problem is now we got to find another offensive solution as Tyreek is clearly slowing down a step or two, but it doesn't matter as Darko was not ready for that. Goes up and has a green finish to get him above the 30 mark on the game, to go along with Cousins' double 14, 10, and 4. And now you need to call another timeout before we shoot that free throw, as the Wolves can feel the Kings on their ass. We definitely trying to get that W. Down 5, kick it to Landry, get the foul. Hopefully we can get this down by 3. As Kevin Love is arguing to the cameraman. I don't think the ref was over there. Maybe he was. Landry hits the first, down by 4. As we look to be in a nail biter to end this game, to end this episode. Landry hits both, down by 3. Right now it does. Dribble is slow, trying to kill a little clock, not let us take back the lead so easily. This is with a step back cross. I know Rednour had all this in his package. Pause. I know Rednour had all this in his bag. He does set the pick and roll for Darko. That's what I was talking about earlier with the not so great interior defense from Cousins. Even though we all hate that this year the computer can just OP pick and rolls. It's kind of annoying. All they gotta do is just force a pass in there and it just blows past you. But anyways, Cousins' interior defense allowed Darko Milicic to kind of get that easy pick and roll. And then we try to take Darko off, and we thought it was out of bounds, but actually they gave us the blocking foul, thankfully. About time. Home court advantage. But then Cousins comes in. He has to nail some clutch free throws. And he misses the second one. Leaving us down by 4. Definitely needed that. We definitely needed that one. But it's alright, only down 4. Still have a minute and 40 to go. Corey Brewer with the ball. What can he do out there? He kicks it to Rednour, was open off the screen, and he nails it. Oh, man. Oh, definitely can't say that Udrich injury didn't kind of cost us right there, as he is a little better on defense than Luther Head, who clearly doesn't know how to get around screens. We try to kick it to Tyreek on a quick possession like we did earlier, but he's just too tired, man. The energy's not there. So now it's Cousins' turn. He gets an easy reverse dunk. Drop stepper. I don't know why Darko was guarding him, then randomly switched on to Tyreek. That didn't make sense, but I'm going to take advantage of it. Get out the way, Brewer. Too small. You too little. He needs some milk. But Beasley, like we did in the first quarter, ISOs Caspi, and he misses. Great defense. Down by 4. Let's go. Let's go, Kings. Gets the ball to Tyreek, who swings it to Head. We got to set up a play or something so we can get some quick action. And I was trying to set up a play for Cousins and accidentally pressed the pass button. So I ended up passing it to Cousins. And from then on, it became a free throw game. As you guys see, Luther Head jacking up a shot at the last second. But it wasn't enough. That turnover cost us the game. That's on me. I was trying to run a play for Cousins and accidentally passed it to him. But that is going to be the first game of the season, guys. Tough one to lose. But it's alright. Like I've said throughout this episode multiple times, we aren't a playoff team. We just wanted to see what our team could do. And it looks like we have an optimistic future out here in Sacktown, as Tyreek was in his whole bag today and Cousins was showing how dominant he can be in the paint. We did have some help from the supporting cast, but obviously an injury to your starting point guard in the first game of the season is never planned. Looking at some of the stats, K-Love did what he did, 20 and 20, 28 points, 23 rebounds. We already knew coming into the game that we were a poor rebounding team. He exploited that. Rittenauer had double-double as well with 20 and 12. Beasley hit 19. And Darko Milicic played solid defense. Tyreke had 33 and 5. And Cousins had 19 and 10. And then Landry also had a double-double. But after that, you can see the production really dropped off as our three-point shooters just weren't there today. Caspi was 1 of 8, which kind of hurt us. But having someone like Udrich who can also finish as well definitely would have assisted. But yeah, Tyreke was a beast, man. So I had to show the highlights. Finished very well inside. Was at the rim relentlessly. They could not slow him or stop him down. He had a field day, man. And Cousins, too, was the paint beast doing his thing. But that is going to be the episode, guys. I'll let you guys continue to watch the highlights from the game as we did show some promise. But I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Make sure you guys follow, like, subscribe, and peace, love, blessings. I'm gonna get up out of here early, man. I'm gonna let y'all just watch the highlights and see how it goes. But like I said, guys, put in the comments anything you want, man. Let me know if you're liking the videos, anything I can do to improve the videos. If you like the series and future series or future franchise ideas that we can use on this series. But I'm out of y'all. Peace.